much better. I still got a little bit over there. I should go get some more wood shavings for that, but the wood shavings have really helped clean it up. There we go, much better. Even there, still a lot on there, but I'll tackle that another day. The plants, well, that'll be a non-environmentally friendly weed killer. But I've cleaned up the little edge of the neighbour's drive there as well, and I will get some more wood shavings to put there, so that when the rain comes again, the wood shavings should hopefully catch all the oil. And that's one way to solve it. I'm going to check with the council now what I do with the wood shavings soaked in oil. Right, so after I cleaned up with the sawdust, I have put an oil trap and filter along the edge of the bed, because I don't want it going into by the plants. There's already some there, so I can't help that, but hopefully it'll sponge it up. And I put some paving edges against the drive here, and I put some straw in the little gaps, and hopefully that will act as a trap as well. And I'll go and get some more wood shavings soon. Finally, I'm in the potting shed tidying up, and I have done my usual make do covering in of the side and the front this time, because the old plastic is worn out, and it's instantly warmer in here, instantly. So I've used a lot of the tool clamps to clamp the plastic and the construction netting in place. But we are now able to sow some seeds because it's a little bit more protected. And these are the edible lupins that I grew last year, and I was so impressed with the size of the pods. And this is all the lupin seeds that I got from this clump of pods. So that's more than I sowed last year, so it's already expanding in how many I have. So if I can get this much off each of those seeds, then that's quite a big increase in what I've got. And they're pretty respectable sized seeds. And if these, these are the edible ones. So if anybody knows how to use edible lupins, whether they're used dry or fresh, and are they used in soups and stews? Because I'm imagining you'd use them the same as you would fava beans or broad beans. And of course these are field beans, so they're smaller. They haven't survived very well because this potting shed hasn't been covered in, but they have survived. I've trimmed off all the leggy ones and left the new shoots, so they're not going to get very much, but I do have more seeds to sow, so I will be doing that this week. And these are going to get sown today. I've used old yogurt pots for now. Okay, 2 or 3 in each one. Yeah, exactly right. So I'm going to put them in. I'll give them, well, the soil is slightly moist. I don't want it to dry out, but I don't want it to be wet. So I'm just gonna, I know I could sprout them first to make sure that they grow, but this is still only February, so there's time really. Let's just get them in there. As long as I don't keep them wet and cold, they shouldn't rot. And I might have to stick, or mind you, thinking of that, how do I keep rodents off them in here? Because this is a nice sheltered place. They're all going to come in here now. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but they're in. They're not wet, they're not cold. So let's hope. Edible lupins ready to go there. My catnip is still okay, so that will be able to give me some new seeds much earlier than if it was outside. So I can use leaves, can give me new leaves, seeds, honestly. My Turkish sage seems to be doing really nicely there. It's a flower. It's not, I wouldn't use it. It's not for, I don't believe that it is edible. I believe that it's just for the flowers. They're beautiful, bright yellow flowers. Well, it is where I got those seeds from, by my daughters. Foxgloves up there, out of reach of little ones. Not that they come in here anyway. But yes, we are sowing. We are getting going. This my elephant garlic has already started sprouting in there. That's the ones I grew in the garden. So I'm going to have to transplant them now before I go back indoors. That's from last year's harvest. I have put the beetroot and the chard outside now so they can get some rain. If we're going to get frost, I'll just bring it in. Let nature do the watering for me. And I'm only going to show you that so far because we're not finished. So I will show you when we are finished. I've kept the biggest of the garlic cloves, the nicest, shiniest, healthiest looking ones. And I'm just sticking them straight in there. I haven't bought any garlic to grow this year. The ones I put in the autumn did not survive. It was just too cold and nasty in here for them. See this? Yeah, there's one in each one. And I planted the giant garlic ones in exactly the same way, but in bigger modules. I'm not going to water them just yet because the soil is quite moist. We'll see how they grow. As soon as they start showing some greenery, I will put a little bit of water in the tray, not on the seed trays, in the watering tray. There we go. So I have got giant garlic, the small pink garlic, the very pungent one that I grew from last year, both of them. So I've still got some on here I can sort out. I'm going to find out more space for them. But yep, this year I've not spent money on garlic. I've used what I grew last year, and they're all still healthy and beautiful. So let's hope it works out. Obviously, I'll let you know how we get on with that. And as I said before as well, I had some polystyrene from a television that somebody gave for us for Christmas. And it has holes in. I've taped the two pieces together with some duct tape, and I've covered the holes with the fabric I used for seed snails last year, because they worked fine to hold together and hold moisture in and hold the soil in, but I'll use some more again this year with something else. But for now, they dried out a bit too quickly. They do need some kind of barrier. But this is great for here to hold the soil in so it doesn't fall through the holes in the bottom. So I'm going to fill that with soil, and this will be for cut and come again lettuce. You know, the baby leaves. That's what this will be for. So harvest from the garden today is a leek and some leaves from the purple sprouting broccoli. And the garlic was from last year's harvest. The ones that you saw earlier I did not sow because they were too tiny. So add in an onion, a couple of potatoes and a carrot, some lentils, and a little bit of soy mince and some noodles there. When it's cooked, I'll add in some noodles last minute for a few minutes. And then we've got a hearty soup. Of course, I'm adding in stock and some seasoning. And I might even add in some peas and maybe a little bit of cabbage as well. Don't need the cabbage because we've got the broccoli leaves. But oh my, satisfying hearty meal on a cold, yucky day. Look at that. So, looking forward to this soup. And it's nice in February, it's beginning of February. Still getting stuff out the garden. I just grated up the carrots and actually I only used one potato because the small little one was enough. So that'll go for another day. Just a medium carrot grated, small potato grated. Chopped up all the leaves, chucked them all. I just chucked everything in together with the about a quarter cup of lentils, just a bit more than quarter cup of soy mince, and then I've remembered I had a cup of leftover gravy in the freezer from Sunday, so that's gone in as well. That's just heating through, and I've just put in some peas. As soon as that's dissolved properly and heated again, I will add in the noodles for 5 minutes on the lowest heat, because they really just need to rehydrate really and heat. I love soba noodles. They are buckwheat noodles, and buckwheat is not a wheat. It is a relative of rhubarb. But hubby doesn't like soba noodles. I love soba noodles. So I am just putting in normal noodles. I will have soba noodles another day with some veggies. I mean, it already tastes fine. Oh, there's a slice of carrot from the bag of peas with the mixed veg. I just took out the peas at the freezer. I have got some peas to grow in the garden this year. It won't be for, you won't get much out of it. But the problem with peas is that they take up so much space. And I tried to grow climbing peas last year. They did not like my garden. So we'll see how we get on. I have no idea where I'm going to put it. I'll figure it out. There's obviously going to be a lot of polycultures going on and mixtures of things growing in the garden. There we go. That should turn it down. I don't want it boiling to death. It'll kill the flavour that might possibly have been in there. Yeah, so 20 minutes, a little more maybe, to cook a dinner from the garden and the cupboard with just a tiny little bit of fresh bought. I'd say that's handy. Suburban homestead vegan cooking on a winter's day. That'll be nice. There you go. And that'll give us enough for 2 days. So for supper tonight and a little bit of lunch tomorrow. Not that we usually have only about 2 meals a day now, breakfast and supper. We tend to usually have supper early because it's too uncomfortable to go to bed at night with food in your stomach if you have it late. The older you get, the longer it takes to digest. There you go. Let's simmer that for about 5 minutes on a very low heat. And then dinner will be done. And there you have it. Just the right consistency as well, not too brothy. That would be in a cup. This is just right for a bowl. Just right. There you go. Enjoy. The wisteria has had a proper pruning and hacking back. Now we're tying it in. Well, I'm tying it in. I've got to get some soft ties to properly tie it back up where it belongs, higher up at the posts, and retrain it, because it was such a tangled, knotted mess. But now it has space to breathe and train. The whole thing was falling right over against the hawthorn there, so yep, had to be done. Right, getting on with some more pruning now. Oh, that corner is so bare. Can't wait for the spring for it to be filling in nicely. Get some more dappled sunlight. Daylilies already growing as well. Anything garlic. Oh, there is yet another passion flower sprouting up again. it's coming up everywhere, and I haven't had it growing for 2 years. Alliums. The aronia is getting some shoots on it. Oh, that's a life. Start seeing all sorts of things come into life in February.